Hello and welcome. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Local youth arrested over alleged molestation incident in Handwara district in Kashmir. Municipal authorities removed 3 security force bunkers from the main market. Renewed war of words over fresh revelations in the ISHRAT case. The BJP accuses Congress of playing with national security to encourage terror plot to eliminate former Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi. In the wake of the protests in Bengaluru, government keeps on hold till the 1st of August. Fresh norms to bar the withdrawal of employers' provident contributions to Provident Fund. The nation in a grip of a scorching heat wave. Odisha tops the list of hottest states. Water crisis worsens in Vidarbha and Marathwada regions of Maharashtra. And all eyes on the New York City primary scheduled later tonight. Victory is likely to put Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump closer to securing nominations for the presidential contest. Our top story this evening, municipal authorities today removed 3 security force bunkers in Handwara's main market in North Kashmir. This was after a long pending demand of the residents of the town. A board was also erected on the premises of the bunker, marking the place for conversion into a public park. The locals had been demanding removal of the bunkers for quite some time, but the army had said that they were strategically important for the troops. Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir police has arrested 1 person in connection with the alleged molestation case of a girl in Handwara. Hilal Ahmad Bande, one of the 2 accused, was identified and arrested last night. Curfew in Handwara town was relaxed while restrictions in Kupwara continued for the 8th consecutive day. No major clashes were, however, reported.
133 के तहत इसको गिरा दिया गया क्योंकि बिल्डिंग इज अनसेफ है ना. आफ्टर दैट द गवर्नमेंट विल टेक अ डिसीजन कि क्या करना है इसको. इसके लिए कमेटी बनी हुई है. वो रिपोर्ट जाएगी ऊपर कि भाई क्या करना है. फाइनली पार्क बनाना है कि इसको एक टूरिस्ट फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर बनाए कि खिदमत सेंटर बनाए, है ना. तो अभी ऑप्शन खुले हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in Jammu today on a day-long visit. He inaugurated a super speciality hospital in Katra and later attended the 5th convocation ceremony of the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University. Addressing the students, Modi said India is scaling new heights of progress, and with such a youthful population, we can achieve so much more.
भारत का इतिहास कहता है कि जब जब मानव जात ज्ञान युग में प्रवेश किया है, भारत ने विश्व का नेतृत्व किया है. 21वीं सदी ज्ञान युग की सदी है. भारत के पास विश्व का नेतृत्व करने के लिए ज्ञान का संपुट है और आप लोग हैं जो उस ज्ञान के वाहक हैं.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressing the convocation ceremony of Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University in Katra. Modi said with 800 million youths below the age of 35 years, the dream of every young person can become a progress story of this country.
800 मिलियन यूथ का देश जो 35 से कम एज ग्रुप का है, वो दुनिया में क्या कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. हर नौजवान का सपना हिंदुस्तान की तरक्की का कारण बन सकता है.
Modi told the students that their motive in life should be to do something and not just become someone. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister MEHBOOBA MUFTI was also present at the ceremony. In the wake of the NIT Srinagar incident, MEHBOOBA appealed to local students of the Mata Vaishno Devi University to make outstation pupils feel at home.
Once these students come, they come as guests, but when they leave as our goodwill ambassadors. So I would request all here that let's make them feel at home, and when they go back, they go as our ambassadors and talk about our hospitality, how our behavior is.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated a super speciality hospital in Katra. Set up by the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board, the hospital is dedicated to the people of Katra belt in Jammu. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Now, a war of words has broken out between the BJP and the Congress over the ISHRAT case. The BJP accused the Congress of compromising national security for political purposes. It cited fresh revelations that claim former Home Minister P. Chidambaram had indeed cleared an affidavit in 2009 that declared ISHRAT Jahan as an LET terrorist. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Venkaiah Naidu said in trying to frame the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi, the Congress has stooped to a new low in politics. The BJP sought an unconditional apology from the Congress. The Congress, on the other hand, has alleged that the BJP is trying to divert the country's attention from the fact that ISHRAT was killed in a fake encounter.
It's really astonishing to see that political leaders can stoop down to that level of exonerating terrorists who are determined to harm our national leaders and chief ministers. The Congress must come clean. They should render an unconditional apology.
What is the motive of Prime Minister Modi and Shri Amit Shah? What is it that is there in the ISHRAT trial before a district judge that Prime Minister Modi ji and Amit Shah ji is scared of?
When I look at ISHRAT, the entire episode, in hindsight now, I find it has become a black hole of Indian investigation, number one. Number two, if I have to believe, I will look for which version of truth is more credible.
In the face of massive protests, the government has put on hold till the 31st of July the proposed move to bar withdrawal of employees' contribution to the Provident Fund corpus until the employee is 58-year-old. The announcement made by Labour Minister Bandaru Dattatreya comes in the midst of protests by labour unions across the country. The protests in Bengaluru particularly turned violent on Tuesday. It is the second day of protests in the city, with unions saying that the move was anti-workers. As per the new amendments, employees will be able to withdraw only their contribution to their PF's accounts. The employer's contribution can only be withdrawn after the employee turns 58-year-olds. Online campaigns against the decision have also been launched. The decision was to be implemented from the 10th of February, but was later put on hold till the 30th of April. Now it has been put in abeyance till the 31st of July. Now, a scorching heat wave continues to sweep many parts of India, with the temperatures crossing 40 degrees Celsius in several states. The Met Department has predicted that it is only likely to go up by 1 or 2 degrees in the next 2-3 days, particularly in Western India, Telangana and Rayalaseema.
Deadly heat wave conditions continue to grip several parts of the country, while Odisha continues to top the list of hottest states, Vidarbha and Marathwada regions of Maharashtra are also not far behind. In Odisha, Sonpur recorded the highest temperature at a scorching 46 degrees Celsius. The state government has asked all schools in the state to remain closed till April 26. Uttar Pradesh too continues to reel under severe heat, with temperatures hovering around 40 to 43 degrees Celsius in most parts of the state. East Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Punjab are also reeling under blazing hot weather conditions.
गर्मी तो बहुत बढ़ रही है, घर से बाहर निकलना मुश्किल होता जा रहा है और हम इसके लिए थोड़ा गन्ने का जूस पीते हैं, नींबू पानी पीते हैं और लू से बचने के लिए हम लोग प्याज वगैरह पूरा कवर करके चलते हैं हमेशा।
आम का परस पीकर, पन्ना पीकर, ठंडा चीज पीकर उसको हम रात ठंडा पानी पीकर रात पाते हैं आम और ये सब पाते हैं। फिर उसके बाद में तो पगड़ी बांधकर तो मुंह में रुमाल बांधकर ये हम लोग जा रहे हैं और चश्मा लगा लेते हैं, आँख में धूप लगती है, एकदम कुछ एकदम मिल नहीं रहा है।
In Telangana, the highest maximum temperature of 44 degrees Celsius was recorded at Adilabad, Nalgonda and Nizamabad. Met officials have issued a fresh heat wave warning for the next 2 days. Thunderstorm and hail are also predicted, but it is unlikely to mitigate the situation. The state also launched a portal which would provide information on heat wave predictions.
Giving the forecast for next 2 days, heat wave warning for coastlands Rayalaseema and Telangana, and also thunderstorm accompanied by squall or big hail. We have given the warning for 2 days to Telangana and Rayalaseema.
It was a hot and dry day in Delhi as well, with the maximum temperature registered at 40.2 degrees Celsius, 3 notches above normal. In Haryana, Hisar registered a high of 41.5 degrees Celsius. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
As the drought situation worsens across many parts of the country, there is bad news for the Marathwada region, which is already reeling. Officials say only 3% of the water is left in dams in the parched region. 8 of the region's 11 major dams are at a dead storage level. This means water from these dams cannot flow out but has to be lifted. Compared to the same time last year, this is a drastic decline. Last year, the level was a much higher 11%. This is the 4th year of drought in Marathwada in the past 5 years. As many as 2,745 water tankers are being used in the region compared to 939 this time last year. Latur has been getting water by a special water train. A cut of 20% water to local breweries and 10% overall to local industry has already been announced. And not just the farmers and farm labourers, the drought-like situation has proved to be a death blow for the Adivasis and the urban poor as well. Sadly enough, the administration is not paying enough attention to their plight. In the localities of the poor, women are being forced to beg for water.
Govindnagar locality near Beed bypass has a population of around 300 people. They settled here 15 years ago when it was part of the Aurangabad municipality. The poverty-stricken people here are either nomads or from denotified tribes. They earn their living turning tricks as roadside acrobats. Hard-pressed to afford their daily bread, the water crisis has fallen on them as a double blow. Some of them manage to collect money to hire a rare water tanker. But most of the others are forced to beg for water and often get abused for their pains.
हमारे को यहाँ पानी नहीं है, पानी मांगने को गए तो लोग का पानी नहीं देते, 2-2 4-4 घंटे उनके घर को खड़ रहे थे, गालियाँ फिटकार दे के हमारे को भगाते, हमको पानी नहीं पीने को, 300-400 रुपए का टैंकर पानी का लाते हम.
Houses here have few utensils, only pitchers and tanks to store water. There is also no public tap nearby or street lights in the locality. Claims of development are plenty, but there are few takers for them. Women who used to do odd jobs to earn a little money are now engaged the entire day in foraging for water. Such people number nearly 2.5 million in Aurangabad city.
पानी के भी टैंकर जल्दी भी आते नहीं, हम पैसे तुम्हारे से निकालते भी नहीं, पैसे दियो तो भी हमको पानी जल्दी लाता नहीं. ऐसा है वो, क्या है हमारा जंगल में बैठना खाना बैठना ऐसे, भीख मांगते बैठना ऐसा.
The Aurangabad municipal body sends water tankers to the more prosperous localities. But it doesn't pay the same attention to the poorer areas. The water crisis coupled with the rising heat has made matters worse. Huddled under thatched roofs covered with polythene sheets, the children of these nomads are troubled by various illness.
500 रुपए, 1000 रुपए, 700 रुपए बड़ा टैंक लाते हैं और इधर इनके पास सठाने के लिए बड़े-बड़े ये टाकियाँ होते हैं, टाकी में पानी उतारते हैं और खुद के जेब से दिन भर भीख मांगेंगे, काम करेंगे, धंधा करेंगे और वो जो मेहनत का पैसा है वो पैसे से टैंकर मंगाते हैं और अपना जीवन बसरा करते हैं.
Whether it's the farmers in the villages or the poor in the city, the water crisis is affecting everyone alike, providing no respite even in the city for people who are fleeing the villages in search of a solution. Arvind Kumar Singh's report from Aurangabad for Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more national news and updates in Nationwide now. The Supreme Court today pulled up states and union territories for their failure to comply with steps taken for removal of illegal religious structures from public roads and pavements. The apex court gave them a final chance with a direction to file the affidavit within 2 weeks. A two-member bench posted the matter for hearing in the second week of May. Congress Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has raised border issues with China. Parrikar told his Chinese counterpart that agreeing on a mutually acceptable line of actual control was the only solution to the problem of border transgressions. Parrikar also said that the process of actually marking the LAC is essential for proper border management. After Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's warning against surge pricing during odd even, 18 private cabs in Delhi were impounded for overcharging. Passengers complained of difficulties in booking as fares went as high as 5 times than the normal charge. Uber, after accepting the government's decision, said that this will impact the livelihood of several CNG car drivers. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
There has been a bar bribery scandal, then a solar scam. Because of all these scams, your party's image has taken a beating.
Allegations and the truth are two different things.
Kerala Congress is the most mismanaged unit amongst all the state congresses. Do you believe so?
They are all appreciating us, and it is a model to other states.
First time, BJP is saying that they probably might be the kingmaker.
The Kerala people's mind is not with BJP.
Watch our special episode of To The Point with Kerala Chief Minister Ruman Chandy on the campaign trail, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Life after death was a cardinal belief in the Harappan civilization. Reflecting this is the skeleton of a middle-aged woman with gold bangles. Excavated from Rakhigadi in Haryana, it's an example of the burial practices in those times. Much like the Egyptian mummies, vessels, eatables, ornaments were kept near the dead body, in the hope that they would be of use to the person in the next world.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, at least 28 people were killed and over 300 injured in a huge explosion in Afghan capital Kabul today. Afghanistan officials confirmed that the gunfight with the Taliban fighters is over and the area has been cleared.
Gunshots echoed in Kabul as Taliban suicide bomber detonated a vehicle during rush hour. After the initial blast cleared the way, Taliban gunmen stormed in and opened fire, killing many. Among those killed were soldiers, security officials and civilians. It is the first major assault by the Taliban a week after they declared their spring offensive. Scores have been wounded as well. All were rushed to the nearby hospital.
که امروز رخ داده بود با تعداد 19 نفر مراجعه نمیده 19 نفر مجروحین بود که وضع صحی یکیش وخیم‌تر بود بسیاری مریضای ما سر پا تداوی شده با تعداد 10 مریض مجروح داخل بستر شده خدمات ما به اسرع وقت بود تیم دکترای ما حاضر
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani condemned the attack in the strongest possible terms. He said the incident indicates Taliban's defeat in face-to-face battle with Afghan national security and defense forces. The US embassy and the NATO mission were not affected by the blast. Fighting has raged in Afghanistan, especially in Kunduz province, after Taliban announced the beginning of their spring offensive on April 12th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the death toll in the Ecuador earthquake has gone up to 413. A desperate search for survivors continues. Ecuador's President Rafael Correa said that the cost of rebuilding is likely to be billions of dollars. Over 2,000 people were injured in the biggest tragedy to hit Ecuador in the past 7 decades, when early on Saturday, a 7.8 magnitude quake struck the country's Pacific coast. Meanwhile, in southern Japan, relief and rescue efforts continue amid hundreds of aftershocks following the 2 deadly quakes last week. The US military has also joined Japanese troops and emergency service personnel in the relief effort. One more person was pulled out from the rubble on Monday. At least 44 people have been confirmed dead so far. Even though nearly 1 lakh people are still living in emergency accommodation, the number of those displaced is still unclear. The Japan Met Agency has warned of further aftershocks and quakes. Significantly, the deadly earthquakes in Ecuador and Japan occurred in the horseshoe-shaped area, which the National Geographic Society defines as a string of volcanoes and sites of seismic activity around the edges of the Pacific Ocean. Now, New York City, famed for fashion, finance and its skyscrapers, usually only plays a small role in selecting the US presidential candidates. But all that changes tonight when voters in the Empire State decide whether to back the frontrunners for the Democratic and Republican nominations, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, or to frustrate their White House bids by choosing their rivals. Here's more on that race.
Voters in New York City weighed in on the presidential candidates on Monday, the last official day of campaigning before voting in the state's Democratic and Republican primary elections begins.
Bernie Sanders.
And why?
I think he's the most in tune with the actual what the people actually want, not just what his constituents want.
Hillary Clinton, if she get the presidency, I think it's going to distract too. So everybody leaning towards everybody's leaning towards Bernie. I think Bernie. That's where everybody. I hear everybody Bernie. So.
Yeah, but the fight is definitely between Trump and Hillary. They're like neck and neck. Like you can see the fists.
Things were quite heated in the Democratic camp. Presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders took a swipe at his rival Hillary Clinton for not revealing her speeches to Wall Street and the $15 million she has raised for her campaign from the financial institution.
I believe when you have a handful of financial institutions in which the top 6 have assets equivalent to 58% of the GDP of this country, when they issue 2/3 of the credit cards and 1/3 of the mortgages, the time is now to break them up.
Hillary Clinton is the front-runner for the Democratic nomination and also the New York primary. She served as senator for the Big Apple between 2001 and 2009.
I will not let someone like Donald Trump or Ted Cruz say what he is saying about the people, the hard-working people, including immigrants, but everyone who works hard in New York.
Republican frontrunner Donald Trump is on the brink of a huge victory in New York as he has a double-digit lead over his opponents. Trump holds the sway in the upstate rural regions, but is deeply unpopular in the heart of the diverse metropolis.
Win, 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 and we're going to make America great again. America first, folks. America first. Thank you, Buffalo. Thank you.
Ted Cruz, on the other hand, is fighting a lost cause.
We unite, we will win the general, we will beat Hillary Clinton, and we will turn this country around.
Wins in New York will put both Clinton and Trump closer to securing their nominations. They hope big victories in the delegate-rich state will help them regain momentum and overcome criticism about the strength of their campaigns. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more international news and updates now on Global Buzz. The US military today protested against China's landing a military jet on man-made island in the disputed waters of the South China Sea. China claimed that the aircraft reached the man-made island, Fiery Cross Reef, to give emergency assistance to severely ill civilian workers who were airlifted to a hospital on Hainan Island. US opposed the movement, claiming that it was unclear why the Chinese used a military aircraft and not a civilian one. A bomb blew up a bus and set fire to another in Jerusalem on Monday, wounding about 16 people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu linked the bombing to a 6-month-old wave of Palestinian street violence. Suicide bombings on Israeli buses were the hallmark of the second Palestinian uprising in 2000s. There has been so far no claim of responsibility from any Palestinian factions for the blast. South Korea's military on Tuesday expects North Korea to conduct a surprise nuclear test at an unpredictable time. South Korean President Park Geun-hye warned on Monday of a possible nuclear provocation, saying that North Korea can conduct any type of abrupt provocations to break away from isolation and consolidate the regime following tougher sanctions towards the country. All the sports action now on Sports Beat. The Pakistan Cricket Board said it was disappointed at the West Indies Cricket Board's refusal to play a limited over series in Pakistan between September and October this year. The West Indies, who were recently crowned World T20 champions, turned down the request to play a few matches of the full series in Pakistan. The International Hockey Federation announced a new annual global league to be launched in 2019. The new league, involving world's leading hockey nations, will replace the World Hockey League semi-finals and finals in the Champions Trophy. FIH said that the new league was designed to provide a regular calendar for the game and to make hockey a global sport. Tennis players Novak Djokovic and Serena Williams were named Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year at the annual Laureus World Sports Awards. Both athletes won 3 Grand Slam titles last year. Brazil's Paralympic swimmer Daniel Dias was named Disabled Sportsperson of the Year. Ethiopia had a banner day at the Boston Marathon on Monday as Lemi Berhanu Hale and Aste Debaisa won the men's and women's titles. Hale won the elite men's division in an unofficial time of 2 hours and 12 minutes, completing a podium sweep by 3 men's runners from Ethiopia. In the women's side, Beisa came from behind to win her division in 2 hours and 29 minutes. That's all from us. Goodbye.